Like the royal we, man. Welcome to another episode of Let's Rewatch, the show where we like to watch movies we loved in our youth and see if they're still any good. I'm Nick.
I'm Bret.
I'm Sam.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Ash.
And Jackie is our guest this week. Welcome, Jackie Cole. You were on the show before, and I can't remember what movie we did.
Groundhog Day.
Oh, my God.
I just really wanted to have you every year watch Groundhog Day with us and pretend like it was the first time every year, and they didn't want to.
We kind of really should have done that.
I wanted to do it.
Who shot down that idea?
Everyone's looking at me.
I don't
guess
know.
it was me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jackie.
That's okay.
It seems like a pretty great
I
idea.
thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Just every year.
And then just 1 year sneak in that Tom Cruise movie that's like sci-fi Point Break.
No. One of us has to remember.
Edge of Tomorrow.
What?
One of us has to remember that we've watched it every year, and then everyone else pretends like they haven't
like-
seen
Yeah.
it.
What are you talking about?
For Groundhog Day.
But I guess I let the cat out of the bag. We are talking about Point Break this time.
When did you say that?
I just said sci-fi Point Break when I should have said sci-fi Groundhog Day. Slip of the tongue. But yeah, not that it's a surprise. We're watching Point Break. And you kind of brought this to the table, Jackie. This was your suggestion.
Yeah, well, Ashley reached out and said, hey, you want to come on the thing? Yeah, of course. I love you guys. What movie are we watching? Well, it's...
What do you want to...
Yeah, what do you want to watch? And I know about the notoriety of Point Break,
Okay.
but I had never actually seen it myself, so I thought it was a good opportunity.
I was surprised to hear you hadn't seen it.
Yeah,
I was
me too.
excited
I know.
to talk to you about Point Break because I love Point Break.
Well, we can after.
Like, I'm into. Yeah, we can talk about it.
People on Twitter were very excited. It definitely won. So.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could be a case where I'm wrong and I'm remembering things badly. But with that in mind, I think this is a really good movie.
Throwing it all on the table.
So
No, please, after you.
When you say it like that.
Okay.
Only polite guests.
Do you remember it as a good bad movie or a good movie?
No, legitimately good movie.
Okay.
With a little bit of date on it. Like, in the way that Lethal Weapon, you can tell it's from a different time.
Right.
I think this has a little bit of that, but still a great movie.
well, it's Ghost and Neo, right?
Okay. So what you're saying leads me to the thing that I kind of wanted to talk about, which is, usually in preparation for these podcasts, I go to IMDb, I write down some notes, who's the director, who's in it, what else have they been in. I started writing this one from memory.
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm not looking at anything. I'm just writing
boy.
it from memory. And that's why, Ash, I wanted you to have IMDb open
Fact-checking.
because I want to see if I screw any of this up.
Okay.
So yes, Ghost and Neo are in this movie. So yeah, let's start with our stars, which of course would be Keanu Reeves.
What?
Yeah. So you didn't know
I
Keanu
know
was
nothing
in this?
about this
I have
movie.
the wrong Point Break pulled up. Hold on. About 2015.
Yes, this was remade in 2015 with nobody. There's like nobody you would
Yeah.
recognize in
I was
that.
like, I don't know. Yes, Keanu.
So,
How much of somebody was Keanu Reeves when this came out?
so I was thinking about that. He was in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He was in Parenthood.
Wait, he was in What's Eating Gilbert?
Am I wrong about that, Ash? Was he in Gilbert Grape?
Ooh, who, Keanu?
Yeah, wasn't
I'm
it
not
Leo and
questioning you. I'm
Keanu?
just shocked.
No, this is interesting to me. To what extent am I screwing this up?
Hold on,
Bill and Ted.
please.
Well, yeah.
Why did I not think of Bill and Ted?
Yeah, why not?
That is the gift of Keanu.
That to me, that's what put him on the map.
Yes.
But that might just be my viewing habits.
But that seems like it might be a different map than this movie.
Keanu was in Keanu?
yeah, he did the voice of Keanu.
Oh my
Did
god.
he really?
Yeah, when he could hear the cat in his head.
Wow.
That is so good.
Wow.
Hold
I
on.
did not even know that.
Are you looking up Keanu Reeves or?
I might have the
Yeah.
Gilbert Grape thing wrong. I'm sure Leo was in Gilbert Grape, but I feel like
That sounds
Keanu
correct.
was in too.
He was in a lot of stuff, so it's taking a lot of.
Before-
I don't think
yeah.
he was in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. I'm not seeing it.
There's like 50% of our audience screaming right now
Yeah.
about how wrong I am about
Keep
that.
moving.
But of course, The Matrix.
Yep.
And now he's John
Which is
Wick.
what I've pitched to do on the podcast several times.
Well, we can still do it.
John Wick,
That's it.
his final form.
Not John Wick. Matrix.
The final form of Neo is John Wick.
Yeah. It's
buy
John Wick is Neo back in the Matrix,
Okay, but with the skills.
but with the skills.
Did you guys see this video where it was a trailer for John Wick, but it's a story about how the bad guys come and kill John Wick and the dog gets revenge?
Yes.
Yes.
It's super good.
That was
Dog Wick.
That was Rocket Jump.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because it was really good action. So P. Swayze is in this. We got Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Wait.
Call him P. Swayze forever.
I didn't make that up. That came from the Broken Lizard guys. They call him P. Swayze. But yeah, Roadhouse and Ghost. And Dirty Dancing.
Oh yeah.
Those are my P. Swayze go-tos. Where
Yep.
where else is P. Swayze?
I could not name another one.
I think, was it Robert Redford or P. Swayze who was in the Great Gatsby original one?
I'm going to say Redford.
I think it was
I think it
Redford.
was Redford. Yeah.
Okay, I got nothing then.
Is anybody else a big fan of Ghost?
Yes.
Yeah?
We should watch that one for the podcast.
That would be really good.
That would be a good one.
Dude,
I think
Demi Moore makes out with Whoopi Goldberg, essentially, right?
Wait, what? I don't remember that.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful moment.
Well, essentially,
Essentially, yeah.
Oh, I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
because of the
Because of the
possession.
logic, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of reasons.
Gotcha. Oh,
Guinan's got special powers.
Oh, shit, yeah. It's kind of...
Keanu Reeves is not in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Okay.
Okay, I was going to
I'll
say,
take
that
that.
does
Yeah.
not seem to fit.
Cute.
Yeah, I was trying real hard because I knew we knew him from something earlier. The answer was Bill and Ted, but I couldn't place it.
Isn't Patrick Swayze in Red Dawn? Is that
That sounds accurate.
fact checking.
bad
Fact
at
check.
this?
While you're fact checking that, the other huge star in this is Gary Busey,
Yes.
which I'm thrilled to see. And I was having a hard time thinking of Busey movies. We got Lethal Weapon.
Which we know.
We got the Buddy Holly movie, the title of which I can't remember.
I don't know.
Manhunt is another one.
Manhunt.
It's
I've never seen that.
I think it's with the Ice-T where
What?
This sounds great.
he's in all the Gary Busey is heartthrob for me. He,
He's amazing.
so these elitists take a homeless person and bring them in, I think under the guise of he's going to work for them, and then they release him into the wild and hunt him. And I think that's Ice-T who plays the victim. Gary
And Gary
Busey's one of the
Busey's hunting
hunters.
him?
That's horrible.
This-
We were going
Might
to do
be
that for
getting-
RJ's
it might
bachelor
not be
party.
Manhunt.
Yeah, you
Ooh,
were.
Oh my god, yeah, that's right. You are correct, by the way. Patrick Swayze is in Red Dawn,
cool.
and also he is in Tu Wong Fu, which is amazing.
Yes.
That'd be another good podcast one.
Yeah. Now, here's another actor in this movie, and I'm really prepared to get this wrong, but I think your girl Lori Petty is in this movie.
You are correct.
Okay. Who you love from Tank Girl.
Oh yes,
Right?
yeah.
Okay, so I did get that right.
Yes.
It's like Nick Cyclopedia.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
good job,
impressed
Nick.
with this.
What else is Lori Petty in?
Orange is the New Black.
Is she really? I haven't seen that.
She's like the yoga instructor.
Yeah, she's got the short hair. She's got the voice.
I remember
You know,
her
the
being
voice.
like really popular for like 45 minutes in 1992
Because of
because of Point Break.
no, because of
Tank Girl.
Tank Girl. Yeah.
She was in Free Willy apparently.
Really?
Oh.
That would be an interesting one for the podcast. That would maybe destroy Nick.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's got
and
some MJ in it.
The idea just bores me.
Michael Jackson.
Does like the Free Willy anthem song.
Oh,
that's
wow,
right.
I don't remember.
I
that.
actually
Yeah.
can't remember the song, though.
I remember the feeling it gave me, but I can't remember the actual song. I was like, yeah, go Free Willy.
Do you have more predictions?
Well, I think the real attraction here is Catherine Bigelow, the director.
Oh yeah.
Who I love. She's like, I think one of the greatest like action director with intelligence, I think is the way I think of her. So she did Strange Days and Hurt Locker. Those are the other two big ones.
I liked Hurt Locker.
No, I still haven't seen Hurt Locker.
It was,
I know it's so horrible.
Really good.
it's really good. Yeah.
I want to see it.
I had a friend who was a veteran, and he said like that was the most accurate movie for what it was like.
Wow.
Like coming back to the grocery store and people ask you things like, "What cereal do you want?" He's like, "That doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't give a shit about cereal." Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that and Eye in the Sky were two movies that made me like get it.
I
what it's like to go through those experiences.
I haven't seen that one.
Eye in the Sky is like the most tense 2 hours you'll ever spend.
Ugh.
And you will learn so much about like how they operate drone strikes and
Oh,
Guys, I think I learned everything I needed to know from MASH.
yeah.
Yeah, about military tactics.
Yeah, definitely.
A little bit different one. But am I missing a Catholic? You have your hand
Oh,
up.
well,
Am
I just
missing
want to.
it?
I have to correct myself. It's not Manhunt. It's Surviving the Game.
Okay.
It does not that that's meant to elicit. Oh, yes, I have seen that movie. But yeah.
Am I missing a Catherine Bigelow?
Oh,
movie?
yeah.
What am I missing?
Zero Dark 30 is probably the other one that.
She directed Zero
yeah,
Dark
that's
Thirty.
right.
But Blue Steel with Jamie Lee Curtis was her first movie. It was a good cop movie about someone that's stalking her.
Okay.
Near Dark was a vampire movie. So she's covered every genre. You said Strange Days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Strange Days.
Strange Days is one I want to go back to. It's like it occupies the same space in my brain as Dark City. And we all know I recently went back to Dark City. It wasn't so good.
Oh,
But
really?
Strange Days, I think, might still be good.
It's
I'm really
I
curious.
watch it every New Year's.
I've never seen it.
Okay.
Is it a New Year's?
Yeah, it's one of the few New Year's holiday movies.
Oh,
all right. Well,
okay.
let's pencil you in.
Yeah, for New Year's. Yeah.
All holidays.
We'll ring in
Groundhog's
2018
Day,
with Strange
April Fool's
Days.
Yeah.
Day. New Year's.
Oh, yeah, it's a holiday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Holidays.
Yeah. So I guess I did pretty well there. I don't know if I'm missing anybody else.
You're missing somebody.
Yeah, somebody big?
John C. McGinley.
Oh, Dr. Cox is
Yeah,
in this.
Dr. Cox.
Oh.
from Scrubs.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Scrubs.
Who I
That's
was a little
great.
surprised. Other than that, not. Yeah.
I was watching another episode of Deep Space Nine, and Gul Dukat had this nervous breakdown, and he was talking to a Federation psychiatrist named Dr. Cox. And they kept saying, like, what do you think Dr. Cox would think about that? Like, I know what Dr. Cox would think about that.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, I'm pretty excited. So, Ash, you haven't seen Point Break?
I have not seen this movie, and this movie I always get confused with Gross
Point Blank. And so when you suggested it, for some reason I thought it was that movie, and I looked it up and I saw Keanu Reeves and like surfing, and I was like, what the fuck is this movie?
it John Cusack?
I was like, this has to be the wrong film. And then I watched the trailer and I was like, no, this is not the wrong film. I'm so confused. And the trailer is so horribly 90s in all the wrong, awful ways. Like, I'm really hoping that this is better because
People talk about it like it's really good. So
Especially Nick.
Yeah. You maybe should have taken the Nick route and not watched the trailer.
I guess. Well, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like looking at the wrong film.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, before you approve some
Yeah, I was
garbage.
like, but it just, I was like, surfers and they rob a bank. What is
Wait,
happening?
no, I know nothing.
sorry.
I'm Jon Snow with this movie. Don't.
I have to say something. So
So you're not holding your breath.
I'm not holding my breath. I hope that it's good.
Now, I'm not putting this up with Die Hard or anything like that.
Right.
But I feel like it's a good movie.
I would like to try the experiment of after we watch the film, we watch the trailer because
Oh, yeah.
I would like to know
I'm
how
fine with
different the trailer is from the film.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because the trailer is very like Southern California surfers. Hey, dude, hey, man. And I was like, what the hell is
That's
this?
kind of what I gathered about the movie, just hearing about it over the years. But when you said Point Blank,
Gross
Point
Point
Break,
Point.
whatever,
It's confusing.
fuck, whatever this movie is, I kind of thought it was Endless Summer, which is completely different, but that's
Right.
also a surfing movie,
Right.
which I know nothing about other than the poster.
500 Days of Summer.
Oh,
It's not even
weird!
a little bit of yeah.
All these weird little mind trails.
Is that the
Yeah.
one? That's the
Mind
breakup
trails.
movie, right? 500 Days of Summer?
breakup movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just reading an article.
Breakup,
about
Point Breakup.
Yeah.
500.
Gross Point Break.
Course.
500 gross breakup.
Eat, pray, break up.
that. There it is.
So that's your expectation?
Yeah, I mean, I know nothing. As you were describing the cast, I was like, I kind of remember this being a little action-y, but I don't know if that's founded in any real factual basis.
Yeah, I mean, as you're going into this, just keep in your mind, like, everything else could be terrible, but you get 2 hours of Busey, man.
I'll take it.
Any Busey you can get is good Busey.
Yeah.
Like, that guy is just a delicious form of insane.
Does he go on the list of walk-in boobs and
No.
Busey?
Queen. Was
Queen.
our other.
That's right.
No, Busey,
A trifecta.
while awesome, can get old real quick.
I feel like we've had this this exact conversation like
We've talked a
4
little bit about
fucking
Busey.
times on the
Because
podcast.
when we saw Lethal Weapon, we
Yeah,
talked about
I'm
Busey.
pretty sure we did the same thing.
Yeah, where he starts out crazy and moving forward in time, he just completely melts down
Yeah.
to like Randy Quaid situation. Yeah.
Yep.
So what do you expect, Brett? Have you seen it?
Okay, so I'm gonna save the quote that I know from a different movie about this movie until after. But I don't remember a whole lot about this. I've seen it, but it's just like not one of those ones that stuck with me. However, I feel like I'm gonna guess that after we watch this, that I think it's a template that the Fast and Furious used.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a movie that's going to have strong Fast and Furious vibes, but like before that.
I will say the people who
and
made
Furious
Fast and
vibes.
Furious liked this movie. That's as far as I'll compare them. But
Okay.
yeah, the people who made Fast and Furious definitely like this movie.
Is Fast and Furious Vibes the porno version of Fast and Furious? Oh, yeah.
It seems like a product description on something on adameve.com.
Oh.
Fast and Furious vibes.
Yeah.
That just leads me back to that article that we talked about last
The
time.
DC superheroes with the 20
20
toy
yeah.
names.
Yep.
Which we need legitimate examples of if we're going to keep talking about this.
Brett's gotta pull it
I'll cue
up.
it up for,
Yeah.
for post
Bring
show.
that after me. So what are you expecting, Jackie? You haven't seen it. You don't know anything about it, but you wanted to watch it.
Yeah, I'm expecting a really good time. I love bad 90s movies. What people usually will say are bad movies.
Who said this was bad 90s?
Well, I feel like there's a notoriety to it, and being aware of the Point Break live show that mocks it, I feel like that somehow serves this understanding that it's mockable
Okay.
or spoofable. However, I like you all see merit in something and understand its place and its time and say, no, but it's a good movie.
Yeah.
So I just want a good action movie. That's all I want out of my
a little
life.
bit of that exercise here of like putting it in its time and place and evaluating it from that
Oh,
perspective.
we'll put it in its place.
Okay. So it sounds like you're optimistic.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Did anybody check? Where is this? I don't know if it's on here.
I didn't check. I'm sorry.
All right, somebody talk about kittens for a second.
Kittens?
Speaking of
Surfing
kittens,
kittens.
I'm surprised
now
we
that
haven't
you're
been
here-
interrupted.
Yeah. Every time we're on Skype, that asshole cat that you heard
I
when you
love
walked
that
in.
cat.
Yeah, I know.
Worst cat.
It's the
Yeah,
podcast.
So
she will be away, and then Nick will say through Skype, "Welcome to another episode," and she runs out and goes, meh, meh. But now that he's here, she's not.
I searched for it on Netflix and I found Gross Point Blank. So Gross Point Blank is on Netflix.
What-
Point Blank is.
Have you ever used that website? Can I stream it?
That's what I'm using right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Have you ever used that website? Is CaliforniaOnFire.com?
No.
It just says yes or no, but it always says yes. It's a really good website.
Fair.
So we're going to watch Point Break, and you might want to watch the movie too and join us and see if it's actually any good.
Nobody wanna feel the pain.
Nobody rides for free.
There you go.
It's pretty good.
Thanks. I've been practicing.
The whole credits.
So you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Question mark.
That was Point Break. All 3 hours of it.
Oh, did you know that it was 3 hours?
I had no idea it was that long.
Oh,
It was
2
only
hours.
two.
It felt like
We
3.
paused for
It was
pizza in the middle.
long-ish. I think it was longer than 2 hours. But
No, it was 120 minutes.
It ended 4 times.
Yeah,
It did.
so many times.
So there's a Frankie and Annette surfer movie from back in the 60s called Back to the Beach, I think. And the whole thing they keep talking about is the humunga cowabunga from Down Under, which I can't stop thinking about when he goes to Australia to catch the
Oh my god!
basically the
yes.
humunga cowabunga from Down Under. I really have to wonder, did they do that on purpose? Is that Legitimately,
like
the plan.
going to Patrick's Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, that was
Patrick's
great.
Roadhouse was pretty great.
So good. Just like subtly slipped in there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because the whole time I was thinking like, I really want to go eat at Patrick's Roadhouse.
I kept thinking of the Family Guy episode where he keeps kicking people and he says Roadhouse.
Yeah.
So I was wondering at the end, like, what was the plan with having Keanu rob the bank? Like,
I think it was one of two possibilities. One would be a weird plan to just get him implicated in a robbery, which is foolhardy.
yeah.
The other idea would be like maybe he really had this Zen philosophy that they would have this blaze of glory and Keanu would end up joining the group.
Yeah, I think he thought that.
Yeah.
Like they robbed
But
the bank and then
then-
Keanu's just like, man, that was rad.
Why the vault though? It seemed like that was kind of. I assumed that the plan was, okay, I have him here. I'm gonna do the vault, so that way it leaves him behind. You know, with the vault and this big hit.
Right.
Like I felt like that was because the other guys were like, "What are you talking about? This isn't part of the plan."
My guess is that Keanu, like, he had essentially been caught by the FBI. So, like, this was the last time he would be able to rob the bank. Like, he brought the FBI along with him. So he wanted to rob the vault to, like,
Really?
make it
Yeah,
a
that's-
big
that could
last
be.
haul.
Yeah, well, not necessarily a last haul monetarily, but like an action
thrill?
experience.
In adrenaline.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
thrill, the adrenaline.
Always
yeah.
constantly pushing the adrenaline was a
Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
theme in the movie for that character.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that angle, and also from. Do you remember the movie The Beach with Leo?
Oh, yeah.
I never
where
saw
it was all about experiencing things, and I kind of dig that as a theme.
That's kind of like No Tomorrow, the show No Tomorrow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but
The-
not in like an adrenaline junkie way. But if you haven't seen it, it's like this show about this guy who believes that the world is going to end because a meteor is going to hit it, and so he's just like living life to the fullest and doing all his bucket list stuff. And so it's like really fun because he does like super crazy things, you know, that you normally would never do.
Do you guys have a bucket list with
good
super
question.
crazy things?
I actually really hate that term.
Why?
Like, there's something
Yeah,
about
why?
that term
Okay,
that grates
what
on
would
me.
you
I
term
kind
it?
of get it, yeah.
Thank you.
It's like morbid and kind of unrefined.
Yeah.
What would you call it instead?
Oh, I can tell you what they call it on No Tomorrow.
Okay.
They call it the apocalypse list.
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Okay.
So they have like a list that they're going through.
I don't know what I would call it. I have to think on that one.
I don't have a list. I just try and do whatever I can when I can.
I just live life to my
must
fullest like
be
all the
nice.
time, bro. I'm
Yeah.
like
Well-
super chill like that.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I don't have the opportunity to, but when I do,
Yeah, I feel like we're
I don't have, like, a
asking
list.
Nick, that guy that goes to Europe whenever he
Yeah.
wants for shit, like what he's not doing with his life.
I think mine it would just be to travel more, which was super crazy for me last year to be able to like travel around the world. I really want to see the aurora, like to actually go the aurora borealis. Yeah, that would be amazing. And like I don't know why, but I kind of want to like go to Antarctica. I know it would be like really cold, but I just feel like that'd be like super crazy to see. I don't know.
Just the show that you're describing where it's, I'm pushing the boundaries by doing these crazy things before the end of my life. And the same thing with this movie. And
Yeah.
pursuing adrenaline. I don't have anything where I feel like I have to jump out of a plane
Right.
into the ocean or go surf in a storm in Australia and cowabunga. What?
the
Yeah.
humunga cowabunga. from
Humunga
down there.
cowabunga down. And, yeah.
Do you have a bucket list though?
No.
No.
I just live my, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
leave that to the
ready to go
fools, man.
now.
Yeah.
Like to die.
I've done it. I've done it all.
Well,
I've had a good
I guess
one.
it's time to transition to the thing that we planned, which is to
Which is
kill
to
Jackie.
ritual suit. Oh,
Yeah.
ritual murder.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, welcome to the real reason why you're here.
Yay! Just kidding. That turned dark.
And then she just stops talking for the rest of the podcast.
This is a new form of podcast. Yeah, it's a snuff podcast.
Stuffcast?
I was thinking more like a Kevorkian style podcast.
Oh, only if you want to die,
I-
and we're helping you.
Yeah, exactly.
If you
I'm sorry to ruin your.
Yeah. We were in it for murder.
Yeah.
No, Jackie, you can't want to die.
Start over.
Damn it.
Anyway, well, much like Patrick Swayze appeared to want to die.
yeah.
What you think he got away?
No.
Or you think he died? Or you think he surfed to New Zealand?
That's not how surfing works.
He was
You
definitely.
don't get to go in that direction. It's a one-way situation.
He was not on his board in that last shot. He was just like scraping along on his stomach on a wave of death.
So here's the thing that's my problem with this movie.
Oh boy. Let's get into it.
Is when he leaves him in the desert and the girls like kissing him and everything and he drives away, and I was like, what an interesting turn to the classic like cop drama action movie where the bad guy gets away, but I'm okay with that. And I was thinking like, I'm okay with him getting away because I know that motherfucker is gonna kill himself, you know, like, cause he's such an adrenaline junkie. It's like, I know that he's just gonna keep doing crazier shit until he dies, just like he does with the wave.
Well, just like Rosie does, like he says, we found his body.
Yeah.
He was in a knife fight in Mexico.
Exactly. So I feel like it would have been a much more like refreshing ending if he didn't chase after him and he learned to just like let it go, you know?
But I think that was their kinship, was that he had an equivalent need to chase.
To chase.
Yeah.
Until he was like, okay, there, I got you. Now I'll walk away. I don't even care
But
what
that would have
happens to
been-
you. I just want to.
That would have been the character reversal for him though, right? Like that would have been the change
The
in his
counterpoint.
character. That would have been like more fulfilling and like a change to his personality as opposed to at the end of the film he's still chasing that.
He doesn't. He really doesn't
No,
change as
he
a
really
character
doesn't.
over the film.
Yeah.
Neither of them really.
I don't know. And I think Johnny Utah grows a little bit. And it's
Still
not
miffed
the
that that's his
biggest
name.
character growth, but he
Yeah.
grows a little bit.
It's this movie is it's just like a classic romance.
Yeah, total bromance.
Yeah.
Like these dudes fall in love with each other.
Yeah. they
Tackle
have,
each other in the surf.
have their romantic skydive.
think
Their
it's-
beautiful
It's like
first
opposites
love.
attract, like FBI agent and like criminal.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Survivors.
oh my, who would have thought I could have fallen in love with someone like you?
Yeah.
And that whole
That would
this
have been a
scene-
better movie.
What this that was that movie?
I think there's a legitimate claim for that, and not in the haha guy on guy thing. It's you can have the structure and the impact of romance without it being like sexual love attraction thing. Like I keep going back to Master and Commander, which really is a romance between the captain and the doctor structurally. And I think that really works in this movie as well.
Yeah, there's that scene where in like the foot chase and he's got the gun pointed at him and then he's just like, I can't shoot this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Totally.
Ah, do firing into the air. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that was
Which is an awesome moment. Like just the fury of shooting in the air.
Yeah.
that was the thing I was thinking of before we started the movie. The Hot Fuzz
Because they're
talking
making
about
fun of.
Point Break and that scene. It's
Yeah.
like, "Wah," and they do it in there. Yeah.
We need to watch, and people listening to the show, get on YouTube and search for Johnny Utah's Day Off. It's that foot chase scene with the music from the foot chase scene in Ferris Bueller.
Oh man.
Yes.
And it works really well. You should check that out.
All right, I'm down.
Yeah.
I really wish that it hadn't turned into the damsel in distress thing though. Like I was really enjoying like the thing between them and everything, and like I didn't need there to be that. I don't know.
Well,
It seemed plugged in.
Yeah.
and they kind of did this thing where they had that shot in the final bank robbery scene where Patrick Swayze is like looking with the gun and like makes that decision to kill someone, and like you're supposed to think like, oh, that's the moment where he truly becomes the criminal or whatever, but it's like, no, he like gave the order to kill this chick like hours ago.
Yeah,
like
totally.
Imagine this. Imagine instead of the girl being captive, it was his partner.
Ooh, see, that'd be good too.
Yeah, they needed stakes, so I can
Yeah.
understand the whole damsel in distress
Yeah.
thing.
Well, they needed not only stakes, but they needed motivation for him to go along with the bank robbery. Understandable.
Right.
But like, I just wish it wasn't the damsel in distress thing. Like, I think, like you said, the partner would have been more interesting because, like, I was disappointed that he died, you know, because here's this guy who's always stuck with him, and it's this guy who's known all along that it was these surfers too. So, like, for him to die and just kind of die quickly and we, like, moved on was...
It was tragic.
Well, yeah, but we didn't really get a moment to process.
Yeah,
we, like, completely forgot about it, as opposed to if he was the one he saved, we would get that.
Or just barely didn't save.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if he got shot right when he went through all of that.
That would be poignant.
Yeah,
then that's
totally.
like really horrible. Like, he risked it all and got betrayed. Like,
And also, that guy was the only guy who was always sticking up for Keanu.
So imagine if it was the partner instead, then that makes sense why he's chasing after him all the way through the end.
Yeah.
To get his revenge.
That's so true. That would have been so much better.
Because he betrayed him in the end.
Yeah, because
so
the
he's gonna
thing,
get him back.
I think the problem I have with it now is he's got what he wanted. He's got the girl.
Yeah.
He knows who did it. Like, he got most of the people, but, like, I feel like him continuing to chase him is just the same wrong as Patrick Swayze, because people keep dying the more he keeps chasing him.
Yeah.
And so he's just as guilty in a way, because, like, people keep dying. And if he would just let him go and let him go kill himself, you know.
I think that's a good thought, because I was having this battleshipping moment with the final. I'm gonna keep saying it with the final bank robbery thing, and I was like, okay, but, like, cops are allowed, or, like, undercover agents are allowed to like be part of the crimes that they're trying to expose, and so, like, there's no reason for everyone to be pissed off at him right now for being at the bank robbery. But then the thought of, like, no, I guess this is the second time he's, like, tried to go undercover without backup, and people keep dying. And I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes this show turns into rewrite cast.
I know. Yeah, we just rewrite the movie.
Yeah.
Here's the better version. I will say, though, on a positive note, you can really see Jackie and I looked it up during the film that this was Catherine Bigelow's, like, fourth or fifth or whatever, and you can really see how brilliant she is at action.
Yes.
Like, absolutely brilliant. Like,
Yes.
that car chase scene was my favorite scene.
I hate
So many hubcaps.
action and I hate car chases, but that one was really fun.
Yeah.
Hate car chases.
And
Bore
you know,
the crap out of me.
Yeah, no, it's well done and purposeful. In each moment, you could clearly follow what was going on. And the
Even though
camera
it's
work was
action.
done really well.
and some of it you cite the cinematographer, but she knows how to frame a shot, how to light a shot. Like, the lighting here is just fantastic.
Yeah. Or like they're like running down the alleyways and you have the point of view of, this camera guy is running down this tight alleyway, and it really feels like you're
It's an
in the
awesome chase sequence.
Yeah.
Even if it is kind of ripped off from Ferris Bueller.
What, did Ferris Bueller come first?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Like
think so.
80s?
What do you mean in regards to what?
It's just this foot chase, and they go through the backyard, and they run through somebody's house and surprise the people in the house and jump
But I
over the
think
fence
that
into
is-
another yard.
Isn't Ferris Bueller making fun of other films that have done
Maybe.
that? That's what I always
Ferris Bueller
thought.
came out before this.
Right, but other films have done
It
that
just
sort of
really
chase,
felt
right?
like Ferris Bueller
Yeah.
to me.
I don't know about that. I mean, I've seen a lot of chase things, but, like, that was a very I don't know. Ferris Bueller is one of the first kind of parkour kind of movies that I've seen.
Oh,
like,
really?
Parkour.
You know, I mean,
Yes,
it kind of feels like that. Like, chase scenes a lot of times are on foot through, like, normal pathwayed areas and not.
Chinatown did it really well. Maybe not
Yeah.
on foot, but it was like foot to car to.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it in older movies than Ferris
Yeah.
Bueller for sure. Like, I always thought Ferris Bueller was making fun of those films, and it was like an intentional dig at that.
So is it weird that he was undercover as himself?
Yes. In fact, Sam, you said you thought that was his fake name because,
Yeah.
it is weird that you'd go undercover with your real name.
Well, it
Your
feels.
real name that sounds fake.
But if you're a famous college football player, you're going to get recognized.
exactly. That was kind of what I thought. Like, Johnny Utah was his nickname from when he was a football player, and then
So he really was I guess I assumed that he made all that shit up.
No, he really was a college
Yeah,
football
they
player.
recognized him.
Best lies are wrapped up in truth.
Oh,
Yeah.
Truth bomb.
Yeah, I guess they just didn't research him or anything.
So this is only half baked, but I had this connection thought to the thing that you don't like about the Lego Movie. I know, maybe it wasn't specifically that. Anyway, that Gary Busey is the cop with all the experience and the skills and put the whole crime together and knew who to look for. And then like,
Keanu gets all the credit.
yeah,
for-
Keanu just
he's
shows
the
up
hero.
and is like, I'm going to learn how to surf. And like, suddenly I'm better than you at everything, Gary Busey.
That bugged me a little bit, but then he was like super athlete guy. You know?
Yeah, Gary
I guess
Busey was
so.
like super out of shape.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I
Not
was.
that means you can instantly learn to surf, but he's going to learn to surf a lot faster than I would.
Yeah, I guess that's even more why I was so disappointed he died, because like he invested so much in this. And
Yeah,
then,
he really solved the case.
Yeah, and then he just dead.
Yeah, the police work really wasn't the point of it.
What the hell was that?
There's no mystery.
It's a collar pin.
Collar stay from my collar that just suddenly spontaneously fell out of my shirt.
Oh, weird.
That's not how gravity works.
Are those supposed to stay in there?
Yeah, it's like it keeps the collar straight.
Oh.
I don't understand how it
Never
could have
worn
like
a
jumped
shirt like
out
that.
of there.
Yeah, I want to look at it too.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this thing?
Looks
Oh,
like
no.
the thing that the
the
guy
dog
stabbed him with in the ocean.
It just
It does. M. Taylor.
Where you
derailed the podcast with
Yeah.
things leaping out of my
So
shirt.
you like put that in your shirt?
Yeah, like there's a
comes
little
with
pocket
it?
there.
Does
It comes with it?
Yeah.
Or do you buy
comes
those?
with
do you,
it?
Or do you buy those in a pack and insert?
No,
Come
a lot
with
of
it,
like
but
a lot
you
of
can't
guys'
buy
shirts
separate.
come with them, like the
I've never
nicer
seen
ones.
this.
The more
thing.
times you wash a shirt, that
Does yours come?
collar will curl up.
This
like
is not
that,
a nice shirt.
so it keeps the collar straight.
Got it.
Oh.
Completely relevant. to
I've never
23.
seen that.
You can cut
usually
it out.
they're like little plastic ones in the cheaper
Yeah.
clothes.
Oh yeah, I love the steel ones.
If-
They
Yeah.
fucking stay straight.
It's kind of like
They just fall out.
if your
Well, yeah, they're
if your button-up shirt comes with the pins in it, then it probably also has the collar things.
See, women's shirts never come with pins in them.
No, because we're expected to iron our shit.
They like pin them to those stupid shirt holders.
Dude, I recently discovered I have a suit jacket, and I
Oh,
thought it
did you
just
think it
didn't
was
have
a
pockets.
fake pocket?
And then
They're sewed
a
closed.
thread came out, and I was like, "This is the best jacket ever because it has pockets."
Yeah.
Because I guess that's fancy pockets. That's how it works. They're like sewn up in a shirt.
Yeah, so
understood
they
why
Oh,
they-
stay,
you all knew this. Okay.
it's so they stay straight. I just went through that with a pair of jeans. I was like, "Fuck these fucking
jeans?
fake." Yeah, they were like jeans masquerading as like slacks.
Did you like never notice the pockets on the inside?
Well,
But a lot
it was
of
like-
girl
not
stuff
like
has
that.
fake pockets.
It's not like
Yeah.
yeah.
Our clothes are like a puzzle.
Yeah.
You're telling me.
Wow.
Ugh.
So you were saying.
so surfing.
What?
This is the second movie we've watched in recent history with a member of the Red Hot Chili Peppers in it.
What?
Yeah, one of those like hardcore Nazi guys, Nazi surfer guys with Anthony Kiedis.
Wait, one question though. Like, did they do something to make you think that they were Nazi? Or
No, they said Nazi.
They said
Somebody
Nazi.
called. Yeah, I think
Oh,
Bodie
okay.
called them Nazi,
Okay.
but they're not like Nazis.
Gotcha.
I think he was just throwing that out as like an insult.
Gotcha. It's an insult for sure.
Yeah, but we
what is-
just saw Flea in something.
Yeah, we did.
in Big Lebowski.
Yep.
Oh, which was also that was Lebowski's 92, and this was 91.
The same
Or
thing.
Oh
95?
wow.
Was this
I
95?
forgot to look up the date on this one.
Oh.
I think this
Is-
was 95 because we kept looking up the 2015 one on accident.
Is this like
yeah.
a cinematic Where's Waldo of the Red Hot Chili Peppers? Are all of the members in a movie?
I don't know.
It's like a Da
Ooh.
Vinci Code.
Yeah.
where once we follow the trail,
I feel like
we
I'm
would do
out.
more police work looking that up than they did in this movie.
I want to
Like,
know.
we-
Police work in
know-
this movie was so bad. It would have been more fun to like follow a trail of discovering that they were surfers
Oh, 91.
Yeah.
than just like, yeah, they're surfers. No, we're doing this, right? Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
Like it's not hard to follow surfers,
Yeah.
right? Like all they did was go to the beach and then go home. Go to the beach and go home. Like,
His circumstantial evidence that no one would believe was like pretty fucking strong evidence. Like there's sand and like surfboard shit at all of the crime scenes. It's like, well, maybe they go to the beach a lot.
Yeah.
Like
And they're only here when the waves are best. They go where the waves go.
Did that last fight scene in the rain remind you guys of the ending fight scene in Lethal Weapon?
Yes, except
Yeah.
we needed more Gary Busey.
It's also full circle to the opening scene when he was shooting in the rain.
Oh, good point.
Kind of. It's
Yeah.
kind of a good point. It's not. It's a meh point.
It definitely felt a little Lethal Weapon-y now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Lethal
that
Weapon's so good.
lawnmower
It is.
fight scene
Oh,
was so
yeah.
Oh
fucking
my
tense.
god.
Yeah.
I thought that was it. I thought that was the fight scene, and it was gonna end there.
Yeah. Bitch, you brought a knife to a lawnmower fight.
So
That push lawnmower that made like ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
No, it had a motor, on
Motor.
it.
Did it really?
Yeah, it had a little engine on the top.
Oh.
I think that the only difference between Lethal Weapon and this movie was Lethal Weapon contained the unnecessary like fist fight in the last couple minutes of the movie, and this took an entire almost an hour from like the point where it should have ended and then where it ended because Keanu just let it keep going.
Oh yeah. I guess
Like he could have
There's a
arrested.
lot of differences between Point Break and Lethal Weapon. Not the only. I love Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon is
So we-
And there's like a
we love
cohesive
Lethal
storyline with a good arc and character growth.
those are fighting words,
And, like,
Brett.
I wasn't trying to say Lethal Weapon sucked.
Do you feel like you know Lethal Weapon pretty well?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Does Martin Riggs dislocate his shoulder in the motion picture Lethal Weapon?
Yes.
Somebody get the Becker over.
The answer
does
is
not.
no.
Okay.
We actually did Lethal Weapon for this podcast.
Yeah.
And Brett and I were on opposite sides of this and made the bet.
You were on the shoulder side.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, he does it in every movie. He only does it in the other ones.
Oh.
He did it in 2, 3, and 4, but
You
not
were
in the
so
first one.
you like.
I was kind of
did
smug about
such
that.
a- yeah.
it was a big win for me.
Like, kind of. But
Everybody clap, golf clap.
Everybody thinks they know that it happened in the first one. Yeah.
So this movie.
yeah, let's give you a moment with that
Yeah, let me-
victory. Like, just bask in that.
From like a year ago.
Yeah. No, just because it came up. So I feel like Keanu is not a great actor, but he's trying. Like he's working hard.
Yeah.
He's doing everything he can to make it work. He's not quite hitting the mark.
There's something just so genuine about him.
Yeah.
That like
Innocent.
I don't know. Like I don't know. Like you just like you can't help but like him, even
Right.
though you don't believe the words he's saying.
He's a bad actor, but a good person.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
of those,
you just
He
feel
seems like he
that.
would be a great guy.
Yeah.
some of those last lines were just like, really?
There's times where I was like, you straight up sound like Bill.
Yes,
Preston
totally.
Esquire. What's his name?
Bill S. Preston Esquire.
Yeah.
Bill S. Preston Esquire. Is that right?
And Ted Theodore Logan.
Okay.
He definitely had that whole like, the script says I should be yelling now. Like,
But there are roles like Bill and Ted, like The Matrix, like John Wick, where that just doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
it's kind of perfect for him.
he's the perfect vacant man.
Yeah. And there's some roles where Schwarzenegger fits perfectly. And there's some roles where, like, come on, Schwarzenegger is not a guy named Howard. Like, let's stop.
Yeah, I feel like this movie maybe would have had a little more character depth if we saw on Keanu's face the internal struggle that he was having between like, I really like this dude and I relate to this dude, but this dude's the bad guy. You know, like
I feel like we kind of got that when he busted his knee and didn't shoot him.
right, but like, you know, like further along,
Yeah.
you know, like if we could have seen like when they're like, oh, we're going jumping out of an airplane and his like he's just kind of one note through that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if we just saw more of that internal struggle, like even the last scene on the beach where he like lets him go, like we're all positive that he wasn't going to let him go until he's like unlocking the handcuffs, as opposed to if we saw like some internal thing going on.
That airplane skydiving scene where he's like, I think they're gonna try and kill me with this bad parachute, and then switches parachutes and then watches it as it gets passed back to him.
Yeah.
And he's
shell
like,
game.
well, I guess I'll jump anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like what?
Yeah, I wish they'd played it a little more like they know he's FBI, but he doesn't know whether they know it or not.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Hey, you guys are acting weird today.
Yeah. But it all kind of seemed like, okay, everybody knows what's up here, but they're still pushing through this situation
weird.
anyway.
Yeah.
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 It's really you watch it for the action and for that iconic imagery with the president masks and like the cool scene with the gas blowing up the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, the action was fun.
Yeah, really well executed, well shot action. Yeah.
And I really am tickled by the president's robbing a bank scene. I just don't know if I care enough about bank robbers to follow them to the ends of the earth. I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
think I care
Yeah.
that much about the crime they're committing to
Totally.
Is
hold
it
them
crazy?
accountable for that.
Like they're saying there were 1,300 bank robberies in LA last year.
Yeah, like go.
That seems really high.
Handle those. I mean, maybe there were.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, am I weird to react
don't
to that?
know.
Like,
That does seem
that seems high.
Maybe it seems high for
Maybe,
today with
yeah.
like security and cameras
And like the buttons that are under the desks, so the cops are alerted.
But that's like
immediately,
3 or 4 a day.
So the question is,
How many-
what qualifies as a bank robbery? Did someone like just hit an ATM with a hammer and get caught?
Yeah, that's
not
a
a
good
to be
question.
inside a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
don't know.
check fraud.
Yeah, I don't know
Roll
what
up
they were
to
talking
the
about.
teller window, the drive-through. I'd like your money, please.
They just shut the window on you. Like,
No.
Yeah, that seems high. It does seem high.
Yeah.
Is this the first time? Is this to credit the first time we've seen the like bank robbery scene with those kind of masks? Because I'm thinking of like, you know, there's the Dark Knight where they have the clown masks. There's what was that movie with Jim Carrey where he and his
The
wife
Mask.
No. He and his wife go around and they rob banks, and in one of them they dress up as the president's
wife.
Was it Me, Myself, and Irene?
No. Hold on.
It's like I'm having a hard time remembering what he did when he was the crazy version. But the other movie, and it doesn't have Jim Carrey in it, but very much like that is Heat. And
Oh, I
I think
haven't
you can
seen
draw a straight line from this to Heat to Dark Knight. Because Michael Mann, who wrote and directed Heat, actually had a hand in Dark Knight. So he's like stealing from himself when they did that scene in Dark Knight.
Oh, interesting.
I have a statistic about the
Oh,
number
yes,
of
tell
bank
us.
robberies. This is from an article in the Washington Post in 1996.
Okay.
And it's talking about Southern California incidents across the country. But then this is talking nationally. After 4 years of steady decline, the number of bank robberies nationally grew from 6,915 in 1995 to 7,562 last year. That's nationally.
Nationally, yeah.
Yeah.
That, you know.
but when most of the country lives in like 5 cities,
Yeah.
But then
13,000.
No,
Total.
1,300.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, I
disregard.
thought you said
13,000,
13.
like-
I thought
okay.
you said
Like,
13,000.
Everybody
yeah.
in Los Angeles has robbed a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point.
look to your left, look to your right.
Yeah. If you haven't robbed a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like that bank robbery scene, you need to watch Heat.
Okay.
Because everything that's good about that scene is great in Heat. Like that's the place to go to see that.
You're saying Dark Knight too, as well.
Dark Knight had it in the beginning, I think.
It's a
Yeah.
similar feel. In
Yeah,
Dark Knight.
you definitely called it. Like the first scene in this movie and the first scene of Dark Knight are very similar. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah, that
Like
was
the
not an
masks and the bank
accident.
robbery. Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to find that one.
I feel
Movie
like
I'm
that's
talking
not
about.
a real movie.
No, it
Jim
totally
Carrey
is.
as a bank robber.
You know, it might
With
not be
his
Jim.
wife.
It might not be Jim Carrey, but it was
Okay.
a film where this couple
Are
robs
you thinking
banks.
of Nicolas Cage?
No, I don't
Are
think
you
so.
thinking True Romance?
No. It was like totally a comedy, and they like, and one time they dress up as Sonny and Cher. Like they every time they dress up in different costumes.
All right, Twitter, we
Alright,
need
I-
your
I
help.
want to try. Yes.
Info for a bad Google
I want to do
question.
it. I want to do it.
You want to do it? Okay.
Okay, Google. What's the movie where a couple dresses up as Sonny and Cher and robs a bank?
That seems like too much information for it.
Fun with
Dick and Jane.
There it is.
Is it Jim Carrey?
It-
Wow, Google.
Google's
Wow.
the fucking best.
Who is it?
Google
Jim
should have-
Carrey.
Google
It
should have
definitely
a
is Jim
podcast.
Carrey now. I remember.
Is it? Yeah.
I never
Holy
saw
shit,
it.
it's Jim
I
Carrey.
was right.
Yeah, golf clap.
Yeah, jeez, Louise,
Who's-
Ash,
who's the
that
wife?
is a
Awesome.
deep pull, man.
Well,
Who is that?
That's
Christina
good.
Applegate? I can't see.
Tia Loney?
Taya Leone.
Taya Leon, yeah.
I
Wow.
really liked that movie, and it was like a very like underrated, under the radar film.
Wow.
And I like got the DVD for it, and I just remember I would watch it over and over. But it's actually like quite funny. But I think they're directly making fun or referencing this film because at one point they're wearing the mask, and I remember one of them is Tricky Dick. So
With the long nose and everything.
Yeah, I think they were like parodying this.
Yeah, so what do we think? Our final thoughts on Point Break. I'll start with you, Brett.
Hey guys, I kind of like this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
The action was great. The car chase was awesome. And some of the surfing shots were pretty cool. I think where the movie lost its focus was the plot.
Yeah.
But like all of the surrounding elements were kind of fun. And yeah, I like this one.
Yeah. Ash, what do you think?
I think it was just okay. I kind of feel the same way Brett does, where like I liked a lot of the elements, but this is not a film that I think I will ever watch again. Like I don't really
That's fair.
feel the need to ever watch it
You're
again.
excited about the remake, though.
Not if it doesn't have Patrick Swayze. But like, you know, I think there was a lot to like in this, including Patrick Swayze.
He was really great.
Yeah.
we talked about Keanu, but P. Swayze was that
Oh
character.
my god, he's
was
the
really good.
reason why you watch this
You
film.
know, the stars in this movie, P. Swayze and Lori Petty's eyes.
Oh yeah,
Those are the stars of this movie.
she has crazy eyes.
Really? I thought she had like powerful eyes.
Sure, I just mean crazy.
Sure,
Like
you say crazy eyes.
Crazy like a fox.
I think of Life
I don't
Aquatic.
mean Life Aquatic. Steve has got the
He's got the
crazy eyes. No, I just mean like how like vibrantly light
Yeah.
blue they are is so
Yeah.
nuts. But yeah, I mean it's good. You can really love how Catherine Bigelow is a female director doing the male action films, and she does a phenomenal job at it. So I think it's amazing to see, you know, that.
Yeah, I hate to make this comparison because it's a shitty comparison, but she feels like an intelligent James Cameron. You know,
No.
if James Cameron wasn't so juvenile, you know,
I don't know
Interesting.
what you're talking. What are you talking about?
like sometimes he gets, you know, man boy juvenile a little bit.
So she plays the action real well, and he plays the teen heartthrob.
Teen heartthrob.
What's this?
Like fucking Titanic is just a teen heartthrob movie.
I wasn't really thinking of that.
Like Avatar, perhaps?
Yeah, he's not quite.
Unobtainium.
Who's
I just
the
don't know what you're talking about.
no?
No.
Because you think James Cameron is not
Because
man childish.
because I love Terminator and
Oh,
Aliens.
don't get me
yeah.
wrong.
And True
I
Lies
love
and the
James Cameron
Abyss.
movies.
And his action, you feel like is a Jew. I mean, you can see it in
No,
True
I-
Lies
like, what-
playing with it, but
Yeah,
No,
True
not-
Lies had some great,
Yeah.
funny action.
But it's more towards that, like, you know, juvenile male fantasy where Catherine Bigelow feels much more intelligent and grounded while having a
I see.
similar flavor. No, I still love most James Cameron movies.
Yeah,
It's like you're walking a line towards Michael Bay, you pass James Cameron on the way.
Yeah.
But he's not very close to Michael Bay. He's along that path a little bit. You don't like what I'm saying at all.
no, Terminator was lovely.
I
It
think
was,
what he
it
was
was
saying-
very grounded. It was very mature. It had a great romance in it. I thought that it was a lovely plot amidst the action.
I think it was a little
And-
fantastic.
And I also think the comparison between Catherine is more that yes, she's matured in Zero Dark 30 and Hurt Locker, but like her work in Near Dark was pretty playful and juvenile, and Blue Steel
haven't
was
seen that.
Yeah.
I'll take that because
Yeah.
I haven't seen those movies.
Well, I mean, I have to revisit them. I don't
Yeah.
like to stick too hard to my opinions because I always have to make room for discussion.
That's
But
fair.
I feel like
off the cuff, that's
the point that
Loyalist.
you're making, Nick, is more like James Cameron. It's more like the clientele that enjoys the film. Is that kind of like
Well, the
like the people
target audience they're talking to.
Yeah, the people who enjoy those like Terminator films, like everyone does, but like they really spoke to that younger audience, as opposed to, I think he's saying that Catherine really speaks to like an older, more mature audience, perhaps.
Like, I love the scene where Ripley tapes two guns together to make a bigger, more awesome gun.
I haven't seen it.
Oh. But I don't see Catherine Bigelow making a movie where Ripley tapes together two guns. You know?
Like he's just a little more dramatic and over the top.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit more over the top. But that's a minor point.
yeah.
So, a random different thought, because we talk about this sometimes with the male gaze in movies. I was just thinking there was a lot of
male. I'm sorry, what?
gay, like objectifying
Serving
women
the male
in,
gaze, like serving what males want to look at.
Okay. I've never heard that phrase before.
Oh, okay. I thought-
I'm sorry. I was like, what? Are you inventing this?
Yeah, he's very smart.
but so there was a lot of shirtless dude in this movie.
It's a movie about surfing.
But there was also a scene with an entirely naked woman that didn't feel voyeuristic.
Kicked ass.
Yeah.
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 Tons of ass.
And like, I can't imagine like a guy director movie where there wasn't like a shot that lingered too long in like a creepy way. It was just like this chick showed up and kicked ass, but she was like naked because that was what was in the scene. But
Yeah.
it wasn't weird or creepy. It was just like they kicked in the door while she was taking a shower and like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah, the women didn't really feel objectified
but there was like,
until it was like damsel in distress.
and she was in lingerie.
Yeah.
but it felt kind of like an interesting thing to see an equal amount of like nudity between the men and women
That's
in this
true.
movie, even though the men was only ever upper half. But
I
like,
will argue that
that's
the
the
one
90s.
part that felt a little objectifying was when the main chick was getting dressed after surfing. And
Oh,
Keanu
he
was like
Yeah.
walking her.
Yeah, that was
was
weird.
like. Eh.
that's true.
So what are your thoughts, Sam?
I actually really liked it. I was kind of surprised. Like we took the break to eat pizza, and I was like, "Oh, I'm really excited to get back to this movie and see how the rest of the story plays out."
Well, I think we always paused it in the middle of like a skydive or
Well,
something like.
that's because there was
what's gonna
always
happen?
something actiony.
They were
going
holding
on.
hands in the skydive, and it was
That was
paused.
so cute and romantic. No, I really enjoyed it. I liked the plot, and like I'm not super into action movies, but I was pretty well entertained the whole time, and like I liked the characters. I feel like there was a good balance for every type of audience. You know, people who liked sports, people who liked action, like people who liked mystery and character. It's a little bit of everything.
People who like Busey.
Yeah.
All right, so Jackie, it's
Yeah,
pretty
I liked
awesome, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a good mashup. It feels like they really tried to do a lot with it. With the server, I wish there would be more procedural to it in regards to
Okay.
the police work and following the trail. But it was more about being undercover, which was fun to watch. And I like that it was by land, air, and sea action. Yeah,
Yeah, you guys
I
kept saying it's a surfing movie, right?
it's all the things. It's a flying movie.
Yeah.
It's a surfing movie. It's a driving movie. And I definitely can see Catherine Bigelow's signature style in it. It's really fun to watch her evolution and to have that puzzle piece plugged in.
Yeah, I have to say, I thought, like, at first it sounds like, oh, surfers, and I wish we had watched
The trailer. We didn't watch the trailer because the
Right.
the trailer cheeses it up. It's like Southern California surfers trying to always catch the waves, so they turn to crime. You know, like super cheesing up the surfers. But I like the fact that, like, at first I thought it was going to be cheesy, but then it's like, no, here's this interesting twist. Like, what if bank robbers were surfers? Like, I like the fact that the movie sort of gave like what could be a normal stereotypical bank robber like some depth and difference and
A lifestyle.
motivation, you know,
Yeah.
like crazy different motivation than you've ever seen. And then I also really liked that they weren't super over the top stereotypical surfers. Like there were things about them that were stereotypical, but you know, they didn't talk like bro man, like totally, you know, like
they
you
were a
would
threat.
expect.
They
Yeah,
had a
they
threatening
were.
demeanor when it came time.
I work with surfers, and these felt like those people.
Oh,
Like I could see them hanging.
they
out with
rob
these
a
people.
bank.
I think somebody we know
You know,
could.
that's That's
He wouldn't,
interesting.
but he could.
Because like the surfers felt like real and grounded, and the most unrealistic parts of this movie were inside the police office.
Yeah.
Like all of that was so stereotyped.
I love Dr. Cox, but he was the chief yelling at the cops.
The best. I love
Yeah.
that scene.
My favorite
Yeah,
was
if anybody had to do it, I'm glad it was him,
Yeah.
but it's still a lame cliche.
Right.
my favorite was the we healthy and we don't smoke here, and all they fucking do is smoke
I know.
and like eat donuts and fried chicken and shit through the whole
Yeah.
movie.
And then he picks
Or
up
meatball
the-
sandwiches.
Hot dogs or whatever
2
they were.
meatball sandwiches.
Meatball sandwiches, yes.
Hey, Utah, give me 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, should have got 3.
Yeah.
He's the rebel.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad you guys seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, Jackie. It's always great to see you.
Thank you for having me. Good.
Hopefully, we'll have you again for another movie.
Yeah,
New
next
Year's,
holiday.
Strange
Yeah.
Days. Yeah.
Next minor holiday.
We don't want you on Christmas.
Okay.
You stay away. Only minor
No
holidays.
gremlins for me.
Oh, dude.
Oh, it would have been good, right?
Damn it.
Yeah, if you like the show, this is part of the Laugh Stash TV network of content. It's a podcast and a YouTube channel where we've got video game parodies and a drinking show and a cooking show.
Yeah, like our new video game parody that just came out recently. We did a parody for Fallout 4.
I saw the video. It's really good.
And you can also follow us on Twitter at LaughStashTV on Twitter, and then you can follow this podcast at Let's Rewatch. And the new fun thing we've been doing is we've been posting polls so you get to decide the movie. And then we can blame you if they're not good. No, I'm just kidding.
I will blame you.
I'm not. I blame everybody for Mighty DuckTales.
Mighty DuckTales.
Nick's still not over it. Yeah. So if you liked our podcast, please review us on iTunes or Google Play. We appreciate your reviews and you telling your friends.
You sound so enthusiastic.
It's because I'm trying not to fuck it up. We've been doing this for like a year and a half now, and I
You
think
could
I've
write it
only
down.
gotten it right like 3 times.
But if she wrote it down, she'd read it like Keanu.
Oh, I like that challenge. That's a good idea.
can review us on
iTunes.
Yeah,
Whoa.
It's pretty
that's
good.
great. That was good.
But you have to read your next outro like,
Oh no.
what's his face from Encino Man? Pauly Shore.
The Wheats.
Oh,
You
God,
can
no. Put it
follow
away.
Make sure to keep your
iTunes.
podcast feed up to date, buddy. We'll be doing
So
this
sorry
every 2
I said
weeks.
anything, podcast
So
listeners.
join us next time for another episode of Let's Rewatch.
Well, next time we'll watch The Ghost in the Invisible Bikini.
Is it Patrick Swayze?
In an invisible bikini?
Yeah. But
Or is it, but for one small part of the movie, it's Whoopi Goldberg in an invisible bikini.
It's okay. It has boobs in it. It's successful.
But they're
It
invisible.
serves the male gaze. It'll be fine.
Ghost is Christopher Walken,
But he's invisible.
and he has boobs.
No, it doesn't work that way.
That cancels them out. Cancels it out.
You have broken both of those things by putting them together. This is not a peanut butter and
have you
chocolate.
seen my invisible bikini?
Wow.